Hey, look. Labels blowing up my line, it got me missing calls. Told her you ain't gotta hit me till you licking. Feel like ZVF, baby, I be cooler than the mink weather. Make a Coke bottle, give me brain till I think better. Back up on my again, hanging out with Benjamin. Franklin got me stankin' in the Lincoln, talking dividends. Look at what we did again.
Brother DMG the poet. Y'all know what it is. Before we get into our spiel, I gotta do my spiel. Let me say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say Hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say Shalom or Shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. I want to say Assalamu Alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. I want to say Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. I want to say what's up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. Salute to all my atheist brothers and sisters. What's up to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Big what up to all my Naga brothers and sisters. Last and certainly not least, I want to say Jambo to all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. And guess what, family? As hard as it may be, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, family, let's get into it.
Yeah, talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming now, my roof leaving, don't give a I don't care. Did the by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, all them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting, I hear them bragging about that they did and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now, I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the out of my face. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
We don't give up. That's what they don't understand. Shout out to the undisputed, undefeated, distinguished world champion of the Versus Series, my man, Pan-African Demas. That's his his unofficial theme song. So shout out to the champ. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a powerful show for you. The Indomitable Black Man is here. And y'all seen what the thumbnail said. He is here to put Paradigm Shift TV 314 and the Versus series on notice. My brother, please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
What's going on, y'all? I am Gabriel, the Indomitable Black Man. You cannot see my camera. Wow. All right, that's fine. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it off. Whatever.
Okay.
The Indomitable Black Man.
We're gonna work with it.
That's
and so
it.
with that being said, that kind of leads me to my first question for you. What is the origin of that nickname or that moniker, the Indomitable Black Man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the Indomitable Black Man. Indomitable means cannot be dominated. For the last 400 plus years, Black people have been dominated by pretty much anybody who looks down on us. And I was tired of that. I have this mental illness called drapetomania where I have to be free of any type of bounds. So I call myself indomitable to remind myself, to affirm in myself that I cannot be conquered. And I'm also a Black man. So that's kind of why I put those two together.
Okay. I dig it. Okay, so with that being said, let's get right into it, man. Now, what is your personal worldview?
Oh, that's a good question. So, if are you talking about like spiritually, like what I believe, or like what specifically?
So first, give me your spiritual belief, and then whatever your personal philosophy is, and I'll just give you an example. For myself, I'm a Christian. My personal philosophy that I try to apply to my everyday life is Black existentialism.
Okay.
So,
okay. So for me, I am, I guess, what you would call by theology a messianic Jew. In essence, basically, I believe in upholding the same things that the first century Christians upheld. All of the doctrine that they believed, I believe as well. However, I am very Afrocentric, so I believe in upholding.
You broke up for a second.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now? Hello? Houston, we have a problem. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, my it's telling me that my signal is unstable. So just if I drop off, keep building, and I jump right back in. Right now it's saying I'm good, but in case you see me fall off, that's what that is. For whatever reason, it's unstable. I'll come right back in ASAP, and you can just keep building from wherever you was at.
Okay, say less. So like I was saying before, I'm basically a first century Christian. Basically, whatever the apostles, the disciples, the first century Christians believe about God, I believe as well. But I also believe in upholding a lot of the statutes that God the Father established as well. The things that Jesus taught and the things that Jesus believed, I believe as well. That's how I fall in terms of belief. If I were to align myself with any denomination, it would more than likely be African Methodist Episcopalian Church, which is what I grew up in. But I am a little bit beyond them and other denominations as a whole. And I am very Afrocentric, so I believe in upholding the ancestral values from where I come from. I believe that Black people have value, Black people have rights. I believe that all people have rights, but specifically Black people, I want us to understand our worth and our value, especially as it comes about in the kingdom of God.
Okay. And that's heavy work right there. So with that being said, how did you come to that conclusion that was the stance you should take? Were you born in it, or was that something you came to as you developed into adulthood?
That's a good question. So I was actually raised, like my granddad was a reverend for the African Methodist Episcopalian Church. And he always taught us to question everything, to sit and chew on the questions that we have with God, to really wrestle with God about doctrine, about understanding life. And we grew up in that. And so I stepped away from the Christian faith for a while when I was about 19 and really tried to find what the truth was. And the truth led me back to God himself. And as I was on that journey, he also led me into understanding why he created the feast, why he created the fast days, why everything has a purpose, and that purpose is to point us to Jesus Christ. And through that, it also led me to understand that even though I am a Black person and I may or may not be descended from Abraham directly, I still am a beneficiary of the blessing of Abraham by way of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. And as I continue to research more, it continues to validate me as a believer, as a true child of God through my faith. And this is not something that my family led me to. This is not something I was indoctrinated into. This is something that the Lord himself had to lead me through his scriptures and through just having a relationship with him.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. How did you start engaging with other people and online and via debates and things of that nature?
I'm not going to lie to you. I have really bad ADHD, so I cannot remember back that far, but I can tell you, I fell into, I want to say the Source back when it was called, I want to say the Comedic Kill Zone back like way, way back in the day. And I just saw a lot of people having these discussions and they brought me into it. And I would have these dialogues with people in the comment sections. They brought me in to debate people, and it kind of just went from there. And a lot of it was just really sharing what I believe, sharing why I believe it, and just trying to get people to understand that it's not two-dimensional. It's multifaceted, and God is bigger than what we think he is. And so we shouldn't try to limit him to just one aspect.
Okay. Okay. Hey, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So now here comes the most potent question. What brings you to the Versus series? And we got some things we building kind of from the ground up, but I think we got the potential to be one of the most powerful debate platforms we got out here. I'm trying to make it the UFC of debate platforms. So what brings you to this this particular arena?
Education, man. Education. The Great Commission was to go out and spread the message of the kingdom of heaven. It's available for everybody. And it would be remiss of me in my duties as a Christian to not share the gospel with people. And this is just another platform with which I can do that.
Man. Hey, I'm gonna say it right now. Like you got all the right answers, man. All the right answers. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me veer off a little bit. How comfortable or uncomfortable are you having conversations with women about religion, morality, etc.?
Completely comfortable. People are people. Women are women. Men are men. I don't have a problem talking to anybody about anything. Jesus in his ministry, he worked with women most. And so women have a very valuable perspective when it comes to understanding who God is, understanding who life is as the progenitors of life itself. So speaking with women, I view it as a privilege and an honor.
Okay, so you don't have a complex of I don't debate women or women not worthy for me to that type of thing.
Women brought me into this world. A woman literally almost died bringing me into this world. I am honored to share wisdom with a woman. If she says some stuff that puts me down, like if she says some shit that like puts me in a place of humility, it is what it is. But one thing I will never do is disrespect or dishonor a Black woman anywhere around me. I can't do it.
My man. My man. Okay, because we got some powerful sisters in the Versus series as well, and you might end up having the trade to cross metaphorical swords with one or two of them. So I just wanted to make sure you weren't gonna shy away from that. So with that being said, let me do a little bit of I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about some of the competitors that we have in the Versus series. Some you probably familiar with, some you may not be familiar with. I'm gonna start off with the legend. I say he kind of like the phenom of the Versus series. You know how WWE. I don't know if you're familiar with.
Oh yeah.
So you know how the Undertaker was sort of the phenom, the legend, the almost unattainable force in WWE. That's how I look at my man Neo Love. Or are you familiar with the brother?
Yeah, I am familiar with him. Not a crazy bit, but I think I follow him, or he's like a mutual or something like that. But I've been in affiliation with him for like a few years at least.
Yeah. And so he gonna be involved knocking heads off. Shout out to the boy Reloaded in the building. He gonna be involved knocking a few heads off. We also have a sister, powerful sister by the name of Dr. Too Sweet. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, studies psychology and things of that nature. Very powerful sister. She had a debate on the channel with one of my OGs on the channel on Trump and Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Did very well. I don't know if you're familiar with that sister.
I believe we probably had conversations in the chat, but that's about it.
Okay. So yeah, and we got a powerful brother by the name of Michael Everett. He's not a Christian. He doesn't disrespect Christianity, but he also has gotten away from that as a personal belief and is kind of embracing other means of spirituality. So we got some contenders out there that I think that you can have some interesting dialogues, debates, etc. with. But I have what I call pillars of paradigm shift. And the reason I call them pillars is because when I didn't have nobody to come on this channel, nobody to come and have conversations, nobody to build with, I had two individuals. I had a Christian brother by the name, he called himself Nobody. He has a channel called Trust and Believe the Gospel. And I had my brother Captain K of ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. Those are my two pillars, because them brothers would come on and chop it up with me when nobody else would. And we would kind of rotate on who was having the dialogues and who was moderating, but it was me and those two brothers, like making it happen until we started to get a little more recognition. And then the Craigs came in with a promotion and the built-in audience and people who they was associated with and help the brother level up. But those brothers will always be near and dear to me for putting in work with me when nobody else would. You've had some engagement with my man Cap. And so with that being said, shout out to Zion the Lion in the building. And just give me 1 second, bro, because whenever I see this brother, whenever he hit the panel, it's a couple of things I got to play. Shout out to the brother just in honor of the brotherhood between me and him. So let me hit this real quick.
I'll make a pact with you. With the gods as our witnesses. Let us pledge that the winner will allow the loser all the proper funeral rituals.
There are no pacts between lions and men.
there are no pacts between lions and men. Shout out to the lion. But that being said, you and Cap have had some interactions, and I'm kind of curious because that usually Cap will have an interaction with somebody and he'll be like, "Yeah, man, that brother ain't it, man. I ain't, that was a waste of time, DMG. Why you keep giving me these bums?" Or he'll say some crazy stuff like that. After y'all engagement, he was like, "Hey, man, set something up with that brother." So that let me know you said some things that had him compelled to finish the conversation, or you dug in my brother's chest and he want his lick back. Either way, to me, that says a lot. What's your opinion of my Captain K the Gargabor and the dialogues y'all had, or I think it may have been one or two or one long one, whatever it was.
Please don't take this insulting. No. I need to emphasize the fact that I have like really bad ADHD. Who we talking about? You said I had dialogue with him. Who?
So he's a brother from ISUPK.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Y'all had an engagement in the back chat. I think it was like when you first came in. So this was a little minute ago.
Was it the homie who was talking about Ruth and stuff like that, or I was talking about Ruth?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay.
His position is that Ruth is an Israelite.
Okay. So here's the thing. I debate my contemporaries, my equals. I educate everybody else. That was an education. This ain't no shade, no tea, no shade, nothing like that. It's there are things that I know that I don't have to try to prove. And those are one of the things I know. I don't have to, and I promise it's not like to insult anybody or to make my, gas myself up. This is just what it is. What I know about the Bible, as somebody who literally went to the Hebrew University of Israel or Jerusalem to study biblical Hebrew, somebody who studies the scriptures and studies the rabbis who also interpret the scriptures, I know what I'm talking about. That wasn't even really that wasn't a debate. That was education.
Wow.
Ruth wasn't an Israelite. We know she wasn't an Israelite. It says literally in the first chapter, I believe it was the 4th verse, that she was a Moabite. And even though I tried to explain that and convince him with it, and he, said all this other stuff, I just literally pointed to the 4th verse and was like, no, it says she was a Moabite. That's all I had to say. So,
well, for him, his doctrine mandates that she has to be an Israelite because the salvation is only for Israelites. So you challenging everything he knows and believes when you say, excuse me, the sister was a Moabite. Just for the record, Cornelius, the centurion,
mm-hmm.
he's an Israelite as well.
And so this is why I have these conversations with people, because what I really need people to understand is somebody who's very Afrocentric, is somebody who loves Black people, is somebody who wants Black people to reach what we're destined to have in general. I need people to understand that God supersedes race and ethnicity, and the God who created the universe also created all people, and his plan for salvation is for all people. Now, I'm not cool with a whole bunch of white people screwing us over. I'm not cool with a whole bunch of white people teaching us to hate ourselves, but I also need it to be known that a lot of Black people, especially of the Hebrew Israelite community, no tea, no shade, there's a lot of self-hate because God created Black people, African descendant people with such beauty and complex culture and traditions, and he loves us especially. And so the fact that we have to erase who we are to assign ourselves to people when the availability of salvation is available for us just shows how much self-hatred you have for yourself. And I want to help us heal that. Because, you sitting here saying that the centurion was in Israel. He wasn't. He was Roman. Now, of course, there were Jewish Roman people.
They believe that because remember, he gave his life to Christ. So the Ethiopian brother, let me tell you, the Ethiopian eunuch. Now, again, it's all in the title of the individual's name in the Bible, the Ethiopian eunuch, but he's an Israelite.
And when I see stuff like that, I have to ask myself, what's the goal of trying to make something that it's not? Like, it's weird to me. Like, he was Ethiopian, meaning he was African. He was not a Jew. And even if he was Jewish, that doesn't benefit you nothing. Paul already talks about that. He says, like, I mean, even Jesus, he said God can raise children of Abraham from these stones. Like, it does not benefit you none to be a child of Abraham, especially if you live it sinfully. If you're not living the way that Christ wants you to live, it doesn't benefit you. If you don't have faith in who God is and who Jesus is, there's no point. You're not going to be saved either way, whether you're a Jew or not. It don't matter. So it's like you might as well just go ahead and accept who you are and the history that you come from and accept Christ as your savior and then move out of that. If you don't want to do that, I ain't going to hold your hand. I ain't going to make you. That's on you. But I'm also not going to sit here and try to, believe a lie that you're trying to push, that even the most famous rabbi, Yitzhak Kaduri, was like, nah, Jesus is the Messiah. Like, I'm just going to tell you what the rabbis say and the scriptures say.
Yeah. Let me ask you then. Would you be willing to have and I know this is down the line because you got some other business coming up that I'm gonna be talking about coming this Tuesday, so we ain't got to talk about that right now. But once everything is cleared with that business, would you be willing to have a versus series, dialogue, debate, conversation, whatever we end up deeming it, based on whatever terms y'all come to? Would you be willing to have a conversation with Cap on whether or not salvation, biblical, what the Bible says salvation is, whether that is exclusive to Israelites?
So, like I said before, I only debate my equals and I educate everybody else. I've had this conversation before with a guy named Judah Nazareth on the exact same topic. Huh?
Really?
Yes.
You had that convo with Judah. Okay.
Judah Nazareth. And homie was really out here believing that he said something and did something. But I'm like, for everybody in the know, people who were seeing the debate later on, they were like, Gabe, I don't even know what the heck homie was talking about. We can have the conversation. I ain't got no problem with that. But I think what it really boils down to, especially when it comes down to debates, is there's a thing in psychology called the backfire effect, where people they will put up barriers and defenses when something goes against their worldview. So even if I were to stay here and convince them indisputably that what I say is true, they're going to reject it. But I have no problem doing it at all.
Got you. Understood. Okay, so with that being said, man, we got right now we have two titles in the versus series debate league. We have a world title, which is already sold up by none other than Pandemus himself. And for those who happen to be joining us, episode 2 of Cooking with the Pan is premiering at 9:15 Central Time. Check that out tonight, 9:15 Central Time. Cooking with the Pan season 1, episode 2. The brother putting out another banger. Check out the champ. But we do have a secondary title, and it's more of what we would call the workhorse title. I would liken it to the WWE's Intercontinental title or WCW or WWE's US title, etc. But we call it the social media title. I know you just kind of getting your feet wet, but any title aspirations as you endeavor down this journey into the Versus series?
I'm sorry, any what aspirations?
Title aspirations.
Not really. I'm not really big on titles and stuff like that because I think that cheapens what I'm trying to do. I became a teacher not because I'm trying to get a title of like teacher of the year or nothing like that. It's just literally to teach. There are people who have a lot of misinformation. There are a lot of people who are missing what God is trying to actually do for them. And so trying to go after a title is going to cheapen what he's actually doing. I'm here to just have conversation and expand people's minds, especially the listeners, into understanding who God is actually, as opposed to what we've been told he is by the colonizer. So that's my biggest thing. That's what I'm here for.
Have you been keeping up with everything that's going on with Billy Carson?
Man, listen, don't, bro, don't.
Hey, bro.
Bro, what pisses me off, oh my God, oh my God. I was talking to my homie about this earlier today. You got you got bros out here who are these pseudo scholars that think they know something about God and Christianity and the Bible and all this stuff, and they don't know they ass from a hole in the ground. Pardon my French. And listening to him get this word by this white dude.
Bro,
Oh my God.
hey, listen, man. I don't know about you, but that was the most embarrassing part about it to me.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you, man. First of all, shout out to the white brother because he was very humble still in his approach because he could have been super arrogant about it and he wouldn't. He was very humble, very nice in how he engaged with dude. But the fact that you went up there and made a fool out of yourself in front of this clear person, and again, shout out to him because he could have been much more condescending than he was. I don't think he was condescending at all. He could have been very condescending. He could have been arrogant because Carson was clearly out of his depth, and it showed me that sometimes, as one of my favorite action movies in the 80s, Dirty Harry said, Clint Eastwood played the character. He said, a man's got to know his limitations. Like, bruh, that was painful to watch another brother get up there and put on that display, man. But talk about it.
Okay, so here's my biggest thing. First off, Google is free. Like, let that be the impetus for everything I say after this. Google is free. I don't know why people are out here trying to do wrong. Like, it's my whole life. My granddad, like I said, was a reverend, and he taught us to question everything. And one of the things that he taught us to question was things about God. If I'm sitting here, okay, I saw something that he did the other day where he was talking about how the Bible, not the Bible, the Sinai Bible, which actually isn't what it's called. It's the Sinaiticus Bible. And he brings that up to the white dude. And he's talking about how it talks about how Jesus wasn't crucified or something to that effect. And homie was completely wrong. And I'm sitting here like, bro, does he know that he's wrong? And then the white dude, in just so much patience and grace, corrects him. And then the dude says, "Oh, my bad. That was the Testament of Barnabas." No, bro. No. What? Stop saying things. If you can't, like my granddaddy always said, it's better to shut your mouth when you don't know what you're talking about than validate what everybody already thinks about you. Everybody already think you a dumbass. You validating shit. I don't have time or patience for it. And so I'm not one who will allow it to continue and fester. So no, it was bad from the ground up. It was something that I would not. It was embarrassing, and I had secondhand embarrassment from watching. And I didn't want to watch the full thing because I was like, bro, if he got you with this already, that lets me know that you don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to waste my time watching more of you embarrass the entire community for your ignorance and impotence. I ain't got time for that.
Bro, it only got worse.
I see. And you know what? And it's like, you don't have to be wrong. Google is free. Chat GPT is free. Gemini is free. Snapchat AI is free. You can the same questions you asking, bro, look them up and get the answer as opposed to just making some random shit up and spewing it out here like it's facts. Cause that's detrimental to people. Cause now you playing with people's souls. You playing with people's lives. You're out here telling people, oh no, Jesus didn't die by crucifixion. No, what? That's not how that works. I mean, if you want to believe that, sure, but going out here and telling people stuff that's demonstrably false, that's ridiculous.
Bro, you still got people out here saying that Jesus didn't exist. Like, from a historical standpoint, a guy I'm cool with, my man, shout out to the Fit Barber, has a debate on this platform on the 22nd with James Cassell. Is Jesus a proven historical figure? And I'm like, I don't know why that's still a thing, but you know.
I mean, it is what it is. That's why I look at people and just shake my head. Cause I mean, like we didn't find an ossuary in the 1991 that had Mary, James, and Jesus' ossuary in it. Now, I'm pretty sure that Jesus wasn't in that ossuary, but the fact that it was still created, I mean, like, come on, like he existed. Too much stuff happened. Why would people kill them or allow themselves to be brutally murdered for a lie? I don't see how that's not reasonable. Like they weren't they oh my God, Charles Manson, right? He had a whole cult. As soon as these people realize their mortality, they'll change. These people, who was it? John got fried in a vat of boiling oil. Peter got crucified upside down. Paul got beheaded. Andrew got crucified. Like, you can't tell me that they were just out here believing a lie and passing this lie off, and then just was like, because they could have recanted at any time and lived. They died. So no, I can't sit here and say that they weren't a historical figure, because look at what they did. Look at what has happened as a result. It don't make no sense. So I'm here to help educate people on the reality of things, as opposed to this misinformation that they get from tickling ears. That's not going to help nobody.
So what do you say to the individual who says Christianity is the white man's religion created as a mechanism for control? And that all the stories we hear are fabrications, no one in the Bible existed, etc.
I would say, then I want you to explain to me why Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser, people in Haiti, people in the Dominican Republic, why all of these people who were ardent Christians, who were ardent followers of Adonai Elohim Sevaot, Yeshua HaMashiach, went out of their way to say the Bible wants us to be free. I want them to also answer me the fact of why they did not allow Black people to pray to their same God. Because for a long time, and people don't talk about this, the late sister Nefertiti, if y'all remember who she is, the wonderful apologist, was telling people, God rest her soul.
Yes, sir.
Looking at her obituary right now, she was telling people, and she had a whole series on Black slaves that were not allowed to pray or worship God. They were not allowed to worship God, and if they did, they were beaten. Tell me why that happened. Tell me why they had to have a slave Bible where they had to get rid of certain chapters that they feared would empower slaves to rise up above their masters. Tell me why Harriet Tubman went out of her way, praying and meditating and seeking God and hearing his voice, calling her Moses, doing the things that the Bible said that she was going to do, but white people telling her she couldn't do. It's not the white man's religion. You were fed a white lie. So are you going? Hmm?
Oh no, real quick. Neffy, she was helping me with a Black History program for my church. And at this time, bro, I had denounced Christianity, right? I hadn't hadn't came back into the fold. And so she put me on to something. Our ancestors in mass couldn't even have been called majority Christian until after 1800.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was forced on our ancestors. But it was the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the invisible institution had to be invisible. Because when they were caught, as you said, the enslaver chose violence.
Exactly.
I don't understand the narrative. But go ahead, bro. I ain't mean to interrupt.
No, you good. We can even take it as far as listening to Frederick Douglass, who talked about the separation between the God that the white man served and the God that we serve. We knew there was a difference. We knew. My pastor is from Kenya. He's not a descendant of chattel slavery. But he even said that the Kikuyu, they worship the God of the mountain, who had all the same attributes as Adonai.
Huh.
You can't tell me. You cannot tell me that they did not know who God was. God reveals himself to everybody. He's written his law upon their heart. That's what the scriptures say in Romans. So you can't sit here and tell me that it's pushed on us by the white man. Yes, in cases, yes, absolutely. But then just as much as they pushed the religion on us, you really think that we were going to be forced to worship their God when we have voodoo, Santeria, we have Yoruba, we have Palomayumbe, where they are still worshiping their original Orishas and gods and then putting Christian faces on top of it. If they can do that and lie, do you really think that we could be forced to worship their God? No, there had to be.
It's Smokey from Friday. Even in the instances where it appeared that way, right? If you beat me or you beating my child, threatening to castrate my husband or rape my wife, whatever duress you put me in to force Christianity on me, I'm Smokey on Friday. Yeah, I believe it in front of you, but when you walk away, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
What real incentive have you gave me to believe what you believe? And you doing this to me?
Yes. So at the end of the day, we got to recognize that everything that they're talking about, this is again another lie, and this is a lie of the enemy, and they're falling for a hook, line, and sinker. This is where I go when I talk about how people can be so like blinded by their own self-hate. You're really allowing yourself to fall prey to the bullshit that these white people are spitting at you. You so mad at white folk that you can't even see who God is. You so hating yourself so much that you can't see that God is sitting here blessing you. You came from slaves. You came from whole slaves that held on to God so much that their existence, their freedom came about through the church. You walking away from the church, but the church is the one that helped get you free. The black church is the one that held the civil rights movement, or the ones who held black people when they were trying to flee from slavery. It was the church who did that. But you finna sit here and lie about that and say it's a white man's religion. Name me another black movement that was as influential as the black church that got people free. Because I went to an AME church, Big Bethel in Atlanta, that was also a stop on the Underground Railroad. That's where I went. Matter of fact, if you really want to do some history, if you look up the Big Bethel, there was an area underneath the large organ. I remember this because I was a little kid. My mom sang in the choir. In that little area was a little cutout, a little like door that led to an area where slaves would be placed. When they would be running away to slavery, or run away from slavery, that's where they would go. I don't know of any Muslim church that did that. Not to say it didn't happen. I just don't know of any. I don't know of any Hebrew Israelite places that did the same thing. I don't know of any hotel areas that did the same thing. I'm just saying, if we want to look at who's actually out here for black folk, it certainly isn't those people. And I'm not saying Malcolm X ain't do nothing great. I love Malcolm X. I love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes,
but
sir.
I'm saying when it comes down to who was actually out here doing the things for the people, it was the black church. That's just all I'm saying.
Hey, this man is going in. And not for nothing. So that entire situation allowed us to understand that it's only one race in reality. Because you cut us open, it's all the same. And we can now understand that the enslaver, as it relates to Christianity, and the abolitionists, both white. You understand? But they got some very different ideas about what Christianity is. But we love to give credit to that enslaver for Christianity. And we love to point out all that enslaver evils and vile and unjust behavior, but we never give credit to the abolitionist who was a Christian and who risked life and limb, hiding our ancestors under floorboards and in the back of wagons to get them up north and into Canada, etc. We'll never talk about them. Because if the white man is the devil, then somebody got to explain why that devil risked their life for my folk.
Right.
And why I can't, as an intelligent individual, point out that the one who risked their life to help me see freedom and the one who wanted to keep me enslaved ain't the same.
Exactly.
But yeah, man. So I don't know, bro. We almost at an hour. You wanna bring some people in on the panel, get some feedback. How you want to do things?
Absolutely, man. I'm down for whatever. If y'all hear my dog barking in the background, he's a husky and he's very dramatic. So he's trying to get my attention for no reason. But yeah, now let's bring some people in. However you want to do things.
All right, that'll work, man. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Peace and power to my brother Inyame. I gotta hit this brother with this right quick before we move on. Anytime I see this brother in there, I gotta give him a little tribute right quick.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Shout out to Inyame. But link is in the chat. So jump in and let the brother know how you feeling about his presence here in the Paradigm Shift TV 314 universe, and who you looking forward to seeing them square off against. That the phenom is in the chat now. Neo One Love talking about peace to the chat, knowing he a man of war. Talking about peace to the chat. I see through you, Neo. I see through you, bro. You know you a man of war. Talking about peace. My man. Oh, hey, Neo, I'm going to send you this poem I wrote, bro. I want to see if you can help me come up with a beat that'll be cool for me to read it on the show, but not me trying to like rap or like do what you do, but actually just read it as a poem, but with a nice little beat that'll compliment it. It's probably my magnum opus, if I do say so myself. I was inspired by the young brother Kendrick with that cut Reincarnated. So it's called The Many Lives of DMG. I'm gonna hit your inbox with it, see if you can help me with it. But yeah, man. Neffy, man, that was my girl, man. I had been trying to get her on for a while, but I was under the comedic understanding, and I think she was a little hesitant to mess with me. And shout out to my brother Jerome Green. He was real Jerome. And you know Jerome?
Yeah.
Okay. And Jerome is actually how I got in this community, man.
Oh, okay.
We started going back and forth in Vocab Malone chat, and he invited me to some Facebook groups and through that engagement in the Facebook groups, me being a fan of what the big homie Sonetta do. Shout out to the Godfather. I gotta drop a bomb for my big bro. I know it's a lot of people that don't want to hear me say that, but like I said, I gotta drop it. With that, I'm me being a fan of what he was doing and seeing all that stuff play out. I'm listening to these brothers in these back chats. I was like, hey man, I think I'm gonna make me a YouTube channel. And Jerome was one of those chief brothers, and I was like, hey man, I think we can do something similar, from my little homestead in the Midwest. And we start engaging, and we trying to get somewhere still today. So hit the link, y'all. Hit the link and come and chat it up with the bro. Shout out to the champ in the building. I see you. Champ, come in and welcome our newest member to the Versus series. But,
While that's happening, no, I had much love for my sister, Neffy. I had the privilege of knowing her as Jasmine Esquire back. I met her during the George Floyd riots in Orlando, back when that was a thing. And it was a privilege to really get to know her. And I was really sad that I missed her funeral. I had to work that day, and my homie went in my stead. But man, when I tell you the love I had for her, she was like a true sister. She had so much love and so much compassion for people. And hearing her speak in person, if y'all never had the opportunity to hear her speak in person, you missed out. Like, she had such a presence. And I remember she ended what she said at the protest. She said, "Knowledge is power, all power to the people." Man, that right there, that rocked me. So if y'all never got a chance to listen to her, go check out her YouTube, go check out her Facebook, listen to her videos, because when I tell you she had some wisdom that could only come from the Holy Spirit, man, y'all don't understand. She was fire.
yes, sir. Shout out to Definitely, man. We got the phenom, the most dangerous Bible believer, Neo One Love, in the building.
Yes, sir, man. You putting too much smoke on it. They gonna put pressure on me now.
You already know. What's going on,
with y'all? Welcome to the team. Team.
Thank you, King.
Yes, sir. Glad you could join us. Just stopping by, tuned in kind of late, but yeah, coming through, show some support what y'all building on.
Yes, sir.
This basically the brother version of a takeover, so it's kind of getting to know him and what he stands on, what he looking to debunk, what he looking to prove or support, and so we get ready to have some interesting conversations. I might finally have somebody that can have that conversation with you on was Jesus a pacifist or a warrior?
So he was a little bit of both, but he was definitely a warrior. Definitely a warrior. But he had some moments where you can make the argument for the opposite as well.
Yeah. And maybe y'all might just be able to have a bill, have a conversation on it.
Right.
It ain't gotta be no debate. So
yeah, because he carried himself real humble and meek, but when he went off kind of like me, I see a lot in common with Christ, and I try to make myself more like him every day.
Oh, shout out. Gabriel, what's your stance on Christ? What was he? Was he, as Neo said, a little bit of a pacifist and a little bit of a warrior as well? Was he more of one or the other? What's your take on the personage or the persona of Christ?
So he was actually kind of both. I think a lot of people expected him to be like a physical warrior when he showed up, kind of like David. And it's not to say that he wasn't, but he was a spiritual warrior who came to fight a spiritual battle initially. But also don't get it twisted because Jesus went into a temple flipping over tables. He was about
Right.
that life. But that wasn't his mission when he first showed up. But his mission was to free us and to fight a spiritual battle. When he comes back, it's going to be more of a physical and spiritual battle. So I agree that he was a little bit of both. He was a pacifist in the sense that he wasn't here to fight against flesh and blood, but to wrestle against spiritualities, or principalities, powers, rulers of darkness in high places, like it says in what is that, Romans, Galatians, one of them. So he can be both. He was a pacifist of people because he recognized what people go through, but he was also a warrior because he was fighting the spirits that were operating behind him.
Right. And he didn't have to be a pacifist. He chose to be one.
Right. Right. And I think that's a huge distinction that needs to be made because Jesus could have called down a legion from heaven to like swamp everybody out, but he didn't do that. He told Peter to put his sword up. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. So I guess it just shows that there's a time and a place for everything, and that wasn't a time and a place. But when he come back, he gonna be coming out here with a sword in his mouth, and he gonna be regulating.
Right.
That's gonna be a terrible day for a lot of people.
Are you not entertained?
Man, y'all
This
about to have me saying hallelujah up in this mug in a minute, man.
Go ahead, say it. Spirit move you.
Hey, my wife mess around, run down here. Like, what's going on? But yeah, I think that'll be a powerful bill, man. What was the persona of the biblical Christ or the biblical Jesus, and like why so many people interpret it in so many different ways. That might just be a powerful bill to have a panel on, you know.
Yeah, he was really a gangster. Because he would walk up to the most powerful person and tell him something that, in a nice way, that they really wanted to kill him for, you know.
Yeah, think about this. Like, to me, and this is why I'm like, hey man, people can say what they want to say, but the story of the woman caught in adultery, right? And you know, the law dictates, like you're supposed to stone this woman.
Right.
Hell, if she wasn't a virgin on her wedding day, you could stone her. And so, okay, my man's in them come up and say, they asking him what he thinks, and he just he ain't got no urgency about him or nothing. He just chilling, writing in the dirt, and then he just casually say, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." That's the things I done ever heard of in my life. And you know what the law say do?
And the rocks just started falling out their hands one by one.
What could you do? I mean, all of them sin. All of them probably had like a whole line of women that they was just out here using, like Monica Lewinsky. And at that point, you can't do that. You've been called out.
Well,
And then
you could have did something. You could have did something.
After my man, after they all, have to drop their rocks and they nuts, my man turned to the woman and say, where your accusers? Like he's sarcastic with, like, woman, where are your accusers?
Like, where they at though?
You hear me?
Now that's one thing I can say about Jesus. Jesus was sarcastic. God himself is just very sarcastic. He be saying the funniest stuff.
Yeah.
Like even when it goes back to Job, like I'm reading Job when God decides he wants an answer and he's just laying into Job. And I'm like, man, God, don't do that. No. Dang, why you had said it like that? I feel like being petty is a holy trait.
Like for real, man. Like he like, where your accusers? And she looking around like they burnt out. And he hit
That's
it
it.
with he hit her with the hey, go and sin no more. Like, hey, don't mess up no more. You know what I'm saying? Like take
Right.
your L home and don't mess up no more. Like that. That was almost yeah. Like, hey, don't be out here no more. Like this is the hey man, that's one of the hardest things I've ever read in any form of literature.
Now, see,
Absolutely.
one thing that I debate about a lot, and or it comes up. I ain't gonna say it was formal debates, but it comes up a lot. Is whether with Christians is whether Jesus is God, and with the Hebrews, it's always whether Jesus is the Son of God or not. You know, so I think both of those are good debates, and I'm against the Hebrews with their ideology, but I'm also against the Christian ideology of the Trinity. I don't believe in the Trinity, but I do believe Jesus is the Son of God biologically.
May
So
I
now
actually shed some light on that?
if I
Sure.
if I can, Gabriel, I'm gonna get right back to you, but we done had the
Go
champ
ahead. Go ahead.
for a good minute and he ain't been able to speak, but now the champ is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's
Peace and
go,
love.
champ.
Peace and love to the shift. What is popping? Y'all had me here in church for a little while, but it's cool. Salute, salute to the brother, man. Welcome to the shift, man. It's wonderful to have you. We look forward to the dialogues, fam. The show.
Thank you, King.
All right, Gabriel, I'm gonna toss it back over to you. Shout out to the champ. You said you wanted to shed some light on the Trinity situation.
I mean, yeah, sure, the Trinity, but no, even just talking about Jesus being God. This is
Okay,
actually
good.
something that a Jewish person told me. As y'all know, I study biblical Hebrew, and I'm really big on the etymology of words. Basically, in Genesis 1:1, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashemayim ve'et haaretz, where he says, in the beginning, or in beginning, in a beginning, God created. There's this word et, the heavens and the earth. And that word et, aleph tav, does not have a definition. It's not transcribable. And that word aleph tav is comprised of two letters. It's the beginning of the Hebrew alphabet and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet or alphabet. And each letter had a meaning. Aleph is an ox, and it means first or leader, strong person, whatever. And then you have Tav, which is literally a cross, and it means sign or covenant. And that word is right next to God, Elohim. You go to John 1:1, it says, in the beginning, there was the word was with God, and the word was God. In the beginning, or in a beginning, that is to draw your mind back to Genesis 1:1, where you're like, well, what is this word? The word is Aleph Tav. That word is literally what is referring to as Jesus. John is essentially painting the picture that in the beginning, that word, Aleph Tav, is Jesus. That same John had a revelation in Revelations where Jesus says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Well, Jesus wouldn't have been speaking Greek to him, he would have been speaking Hebrew. And when he spoke Hebrew, he would have said, I am the Aleph and the Tav. And if he says, I'm the Aleph and the Tav, he is the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Like God says, he is the beginning and the end, which is implying that Jesus is saying himself that he is God himself. And that's just scripturally. You ain't got to believe it, but that's just what the scriptures say. According to scripture.
I'm trying to decide if we need to give you a warm-up period.
I'm gonna say we ain't gotta believe it, but I'm gonna let him live though. We're gonna keep talking. Go ahead.
Hey, I don't think this brother need no warm-up period, Neo. He didn't clash with Judah Nash. I think he initiated.
Okay.
Man, not see, okay, listen, Judah Nazareth, man, like that whole debate was wild. That whole debate was wild.
That's why I
Because
say
I'm like,
you already initiated.
Yeah, Judah Nash is wild. I already know him.
I don't think homie knew what he was talking about, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
He was just saying stuff.
my issue with that is scriptures like Mark 10:17 when he asked the guy, "Why do you call me good? Because none is good but God." And he corrected the guy, and the guy didn't call him good master. The second time, he just called him master, omitting the good. So,
Pan, hold it down for me.
so
Yes, sir.
it's scriptures like that one, and also the fact that he told us to pray to God, and he said, whenever you pray, pray in this manner, our Father who art in heaven. And Jesus was standing on the earth when he said that. So by his own teachings, we were to pray to God. All authority, praise, and honor, he directed towards God, and we direct towards him now as Christians because of the Christian doctrine.
But I think we have to hold that place for understanding Jesus is, and not even just Jesus, but you had a lot of rabbis at the time who they didn't answer the question with an answer like a direct answer. They always drew you to questioning why you were saying the things that you were saying. So when he says, "Why do you call me good when no one's good but the Father?" It wasn't like he's not saying that he's not good. It was more like trying to get him to understand that who you're saying is good, you're saying he's good because I am him. And this isn't to say that he is the Father, they're different by function, but it is to say that they are of the same essence. He is of the same essence as the Father. He is of the same essence as the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the same essence of all of them. So it's not to say that you're not supposed to worship Jesus. It's not to say that you're not supposed to see them as the Father. It's to say that there is a difference in their function and in their title, but they're the same God. It's one God presented in three different, I don't want to say modalities because that goes into modalism, but into three different persons. So it's like, it's not a form of idolatry. It's not a form of separation. We already see in Judaism that God is a binary, at least because you have the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the face of the earth. That lets us know already that it's a plurality within the Godhead. But then you also have Jesus coming and doing the same things that God did. Yeah, you were supposed to worship God, the Father. Absolutely, He is the source. But in as much, Jesus is of that source. He is of that same essence. He is of the Father.
Okay, so I have a question. Now, this is not being combative. I'm in my host moderator mode right now. So, what would you say to the question of polytheism with that?
I think that would be a fundamental misunderstanding of what the Trinity is, because it's not a polytheistic mindset. It is one God, three persons. It is God is one, but in three different functions. So the same way you have me as a father, as a son, as a husband, in as much as God does the same thing. There is God the Father, there is God the Holy Spirit, there's God Jesus. They are of the same essence. They're just in different personalities or different functions.
So, is there such thing as polytheism?
Yeah, there's polytheism in like reality. Like a lot of people, like the Hindus, they worship a whole bunch of gods. Those gods
So,
don't actually exist.
well, hold on. So because some Hindus would describe Hinduism in the same way that you described Christianity, as far as the one superior overall power and all these different iterations of that one being. It's actually, they would describe it pretty much exactly the same way you just described it. So I'm just wondering. Well, I guess you said their gods aren't real, so I guess I get that.
And I disagree with that part too.
Okay.
That the gods aren't real?
Yeah, the gods are real. They're very real.
Their gods?
Yeah.
Vishnu and Ganesh and all them?
Yes.
I mean, okay.
These are the fallen angels. These are the angels that the Bible described falling and, succumbing to the lust of the flesh and
Okay.
fornication.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fun combo.
Yeah, that would be them, because they also set up temples and had people worshiping them and stuff like that. And, to different parts of the world. These are very real gods. Osiris, all of them, they're real.
I can agree with that. But when I say they're not real gods, in the sense of like, so when God says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," I think that's pointing to the fact that it's not like you can't, like, okay, so Abraham, according to, what was it? What is the book? I can't remember what it is. I want to say maybe it's the Midrash or something like that. It talks about how Abraham was with his dad back in his homeland, and his dad had all of these idols, and he basically destroyed the idols and was like, "These aren't real." Da, 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 da. The demonic forces behind it are angels. Yes, I don't think when God says that thou shalt have no other gods before me, the people think they're gods. He's saying that they're not gods. They're fallen angels. They're not on the same level as me. I am God, the master of the universe, the one who created and sustained all things. These are created beings that I created. Don't worship them, kind of thing.
Well, I think they were both. I think there were, in fact, just idols that were just, lifeless figurines that did nothing. But the spiritual power behind the practices, the rituals and stuff, wasn't in the, idols. It was in the demonic entities that was giving the priest power or whatever.
Yeah.
And those were the beings that were real. Now, I'm not saying every one of them was real, because some people may very well have had idols that had no power whatsoever, and, it kind of leads to that with the story of Abraham and his dad's house. So I'm not denying that. But some of these idols had demonic entities attached to them.
Well, it also kind of looks like, if y'all have ever seen American Gods, when there was one episode, well, even just all of them. There was one specific episode where there were all of these different Jesuses. Like, the main character went to this party. It was the Easter party. And there were a bunch of these different types of Jesuses. There was a Korean Jesus, a black Jesus, a white Jesus, all these different types of Jesuses. And they were really just, oh man, dude, it was crazy. They were basically just these idols. And it's this concept of you are creating these idols, and these idols become they're made manifest. So I can see something like that absolutely being a thing. I feel like that could also be happening. But that's going into like a whole different realm of theology and understanding. But suffice it to say, there is one God that exists, that created all things, as the definition of a supreme God would go. One God who exists outside of space-time, that is the uncaused creator of the universe that exists. That is the God that I serve, that tells people don't serve a created entity when you can serve the God who created all things.
Right.
Makes sense. Yeah, y'all mess it up. Y'all having a bill right now, man. We gotta set that up and build to it, man. Y'all done gave too much away already.
I'm glad you came back, D, because I didn't know which way we was about to go from here, brother.
Neo, any closing thoughts on that convo?
No, we good pretty much, We good. Like, well, yeah, I will. Last thing I'll point out is in Psalms 82. It says that God sits in the congregation of the mighty, and He judges amongst the gods wisely. So, depending on which version you read, it might be worded a little different, but it's saying that even in the Hebrew, He's judging amongst the gods wisely, and people interpret that chapter as if it's talking about men who aspire to be gods or something. But no, it was actually talking about the B'nai Elohim, the children of God.
What chapter is that? You said in Psalms?
Psalms 82, yeah.
Psalms 82.
Verse
You
1.
had it right on top. I love that because I sure don't know the Psalms by the top of my head. I promise I don't. Psalms 82.
I don't either. I just know that one. I don't know the scriptures like that by heart, like people just be quoting scriptures. I'm not one that do that. I might have maybe 10 scriptures I can quote like that, and that's the ones that mean a lot to me. I had to go to it a lot.
You said Psalms 82?
Yes, sir.
Ye are gods.
Okay, so it says
82:7.
No, I start at 1. You can read to 7.
You said 7? Okay.
No, you can read to 7, but I start at 1. 1 is the one I was speaking of.
Okay, Elohim.
What's up, kitty cat?
Elohim. God stands in the midst of the gods. Okay, this is weird. Okay, so
they don't teach that in Christian church. That's one of the things they don't like to deal with.
It says, so how it reads is strange because it's like God stands in the God in the gods. So like he stands as the God of gods, or God in the midst of the gods, which is really weird. But even in this, how it even so because Elohim is plural, and it can mean like a council of gods or a council of the gods or a council of the God council. It's not irrational to think that there isn't a council of God, because it is, but they're not God, they're God-like. They're the Elohim. Huh?
They're lesser beings. I get it.
Yeah.
That's why he's sitting above them judging, but the fact remains that they still exist and they're still called gods. Even though they're not the most high God, they're still called gods.
Right, and which makes me think that there's definitely because I mean, even Satan was included in the council of the gods as like a prosecutor. Like even Hasatan is a concept of because I mean in Job you see him come out of nowhere, and God's like, "Where did you come from?" He sits up there too. So it's like it's kind of confusing, but it makes sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's
it's
not
like there's a council
anymore, but he sat up there at one point. He was removed.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, child, when you decide you want to take over God's position, I feel like you kind of just set yourself for the failure for the okie doke. But that's I wouldn't have done it, but I mean, he did it. That's his bag. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But yeah, it makes sense that there is a council, because I mean that's what God tries to put people into. Speaking of what, my bad.
Nah, my question for everybody on the show, at least those of you who've heard it, Kendrick Lamar's song Reincarnated, where he say he rewrote the devil's story so we could take our power back. What y'all think of that?
Oh, there's nothing in that black bag for me.
What's that?
I was saying I don't know what he meant by that.
Yeah, it's not. See, to me, it has to be saying that one or two things, that either the devil is real and we can theoretically take his power from him, or the devil is fake and the power that character has over us needs to be removed, and he did it by rewriting this story. But it's one of it's.
There's another option.
Yeah, because
go ahead.
Pan said it first.
Go ahead, Pan, and then you, Neo.
The one that I was looking at was Gnosticism. That would be the first thought that I had, was looking at the snake as, or the serpent as, giving humans wisdom over the evil god. What was it? The Demiurge, right?
Demiurge.
But,
okay.
Yeah. But what was you about to say, Neil?
Well, I was pointing out the fact that, when you look at Kendrick's life and what we know about Kendrick, and I don't even follow him, but he went viral when this happened, especially in the circle I walk in. Kendrick is leaning towards Hebrew Israelite. So it's a good chance that statement was referring to the Hebrew Israelite paradigm of the devil's story, which would not be a serpent, if you catch it.
That's
just an adversary.
Yeah.
No, not just the adversary, but the devil that the Bible speaks of is
the white.
Yeah.
You said what?
Mr. Dwight.
The clear man, the white man.
I got a different view, but I take that.
But I'm saying, being that Kendrick is a Hebrew, is very safe to say he could have meant it that way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I don't support that concept, and I, challenge that doctrine all the time.
Oh, you're just saying because of Kendrick's background, he believes that that's what they are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Frankly, I think Lil Wayne is a better rapper, but I also still love Kendrick.
Because he said, we can get our power back, or something. Rewrite the devil's story so we can take our power back. He's not talking about the serpent. He's talking about the one that got power over us. That's what he's talking about. Because he explains it right after. Like, as a rapper, we do that a lot of times. When we say something deep, we'll explain it right after. Sometimes we won't. I hope you figure it out. But a lot of times we'll explain it, or at least give a clue. And the next line will take our power back.
Real. Well, gentlemen, I actually have to let y'all go. I got some stuff I got to do with a very wonderful person, a nice young lady. So if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna hit on that.
All right, let me drop a bomb. All right, brother, close out and tell the people, what you got coming up. If you got a channel or social media, anything like that you want to share, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I'm actually not hard to find. I'm under the Indomitable Black Man. My YouTube is up there as well. If you need help working with your kids, I am a conscious parenting, gentle parenting, respectful parenting, authoritative parenting advocate. If you got kids with special needs, I will teach you how to work with your kids in a way that's not going to pass down any trauma or generational stress. My goal is to help decolonize our mindsets. If you're beating your kids, that is anti-white, and I will help you liberate yourself from that mentality. So follow my Instagram, the Indomitable Black Man. Follow my TikTok, same thing.
All right, brother. Shout out and salute to you. All right. The brother got to get out of here. Neo, I'm going to let you close on out, bro. Let them know what you got going. Neo, you there?
Oh, my bad. I was muted, big DMG. All right. So lately it's been all turn up for the last week or so. You know, I dropped that Neotha Vandross, love ballad. Oh man, they had mixed emotions on it, but we doing it Neotha Vandross. Goddamn, I might do a whole album. But oh man, we got this Bayou classic, dog. Yeah, and then we got this Bayou classic banger. Oh, SU every day, big Southern energy. We took the Bayou Classic this year, and to commemorate and celebrate, I'm doing a tribute song.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all get ready for that, because y'all know how our brother, the one and only most dangerous Bible believer, the phenom Neo Love, y'all know how he do it. So y'all get ready. Champ Pandemus, close it out for us. Let the people know what they can look forward to in a little over an hour.
Yes, sir. First of all, salute to the panel, Brother Gabriel, Indomitable Black Man. Salute to that brother. Welcome. I know he had to step off. Neo is the OG. And salute to the chat. Want to make an announcement tonight. We got another episode of Cooking with the Pan, the hottest new show on YouTube, late night style show that deals with all of our debate drama. So come check it out. yeah, dropping them bombs on them. The Shift is the place to be. Come on, be here with us. You heard?
I'm waiting to see it.
Y'all already know. Neo say he got. Hey, if the phenom say he gonna tune in, he gonna tune in.
The last one was epic. I was loving it.
Thank you. Hey, wait, hold on, dear. He talked about the Bayou Classic. Listen, I was amped because I finally got one of my songs played in the Neo studio, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we can shut it down, baby. I was good. I can retire.
Barking with the dog, barking, but they ain't saying nothing. Roof.
Hey, if Neo Love ain't too cool to tune in, the rest of y'all ain't got no excuse. You hear me?
Y'all come on out.
I'm trying to tell you, 9:15 Central Time, Cooking with the Pan, Season 1, Episode 2. Like Neo said, the first one was epic. You know what he gonna do for number 2. So that being said, we're gonna get on up out of here, family. It's been Paradigm Shift TV 314. The Indomitable Black Man was heard to put the Paradigm Shift TV 314 universe and the Versus series on notice. I don't know how y'all think he did. I thought the brother was sharp. Captain K, holla at your boy. He say he only debate his equals. All others he teach. And he ready to educate you. You hear me? So listen, y'all know what it is, man. I got an announcement this Tuesday. Who's in the Versus series social media title tournament? We're going to go ahead and get down to it, man. Crown a social media champion going into this new year when this is going to be 2025 is the year of the Versus series. That's what we pushing. That's where we headed. We're going to have quarterly events, pay-per-view styles, just like the UFC. We're going to get this thing rolling. 2025 is the year of the Versus series. And we're going to make it happen however we make it happen, just like we've been doing. So that being said, Neo, I'm about to inbox you that poem, and See if you can hook a brother up or give a brother some pointers or something. But for the rest of y'all, cooking with the pan in about an hour. Y'all stay tuned and tune in this Tuesday. We're going to get down to that social media title tournament. Till then, we'll be back at it again. That is peace.
Yeah. I know I got about 30 seconds to make y'all feel this before y'all turn it off these days. That I might not even release this. But I be doing this shit for me, help me get through. I feel like I give until I can't, but most don't recognize it till I ain't. Blood on them covers, she hoping paint. Sorry mama, but it ain't. This world took a toll on me, and everyone that say they love me always seem to follow me. The same one that call me great, treat me like I ain't shit. I read between the lines, it's written all over your eyes. I see the disappointment in the eyes of the ones who want me dead, but I ain't never been scared, I tried to get there. Sometimes I wonder if I survived or did I die on that ride to that hospital. Demons all around me, I am not mental. This game of life, it is not simple. Last time I was happy, I was popping pills.